What's going on, guys, and welcome to the stream this morning. It's just me today, guys. Mike had some internet problems with the hurricane kind of going right over his house, so definitely keep Mike in your thoughts right now. The hurricane's not too bad. It's not too scary, he said, but overall, definitely messing up his internet today. We could not even get connected on Zoom or anything like that, so heading into the market today, we have Zoom actually popping up in the morning. Believe it or not, up to 405.64 with another great move continuing off of yesterday. And this stock just continues to go up. We have the QQQ having these nice green candles that open, looking very nice. Let's go see how Apple's doing. More green out of them. I know Microsoft was running it open also. They're looking pretty good today. We have Hunter, Corbin, Kachang, Gene, Corbin, B, everybody. Thank you guys so much, or Keisha, I should say. Thank you guys so much for joining the stream this morning. Keisha says NEE is about to break out of the wedge. Let's go check it out. NEE, Next Era Energy. I knew a lot of people have been talking about this one over the past couple months, and it does look like it might start to finally break out today. I honestly really like the movement I'm seeing out of NEE. You know, there is a big resistance right around 75.50 to 75. You could say all the way up to 75.75, maybe 75.80 as well. Anywhere around that level, there's been a pretty big res, so watch out. It is kind of going red today off of there. So it looks like that breakout might have to come later in the day. Justin says, let's go Apple. And I'm with you, Justin. Apple's looking pretty good today. I really like the way it's moving. And, man, it's starting to break up. At open, you know, it was moving really nicely on the 1 minute. We are catching some red right now, but I still like the movement that we're seeing overall. Not a bad play by any means. And overall, with the market today, we're just seeing we saw the QQQ flying up initially at open. Now we're seeing a pretty hard pullback actually out of that. It had a lot of movement this morning in pre-market, so maybe it's just going to be some downwards movement at open, and then more movement as we go through the day. But guys, as always, let me know in the comments what you're watching this morning, what kind of setups you want to see. Corbin says he got Apple and AMD. Let's go. So let's go check out AMD. I know we've been checking out Apple a lot so far, but AMD also looking pretty hot. I like the green momentum that we're seeing there. And actually on the 1 minute starting to come right back up. Like I said, the QQQ was catching a little bit of red there, but I like how AMD held its ground and is still going back. I like this move, and who knows, maybe AMD will break out above 95.71 today, and we might see a pretty good move, maybe back up to that all-time high right around the $100 area. And man, AMD bounced off of 99.98. It sounds like an infomercial, but it's not. You know, that's a pretty good move actually out of AMD if we could get up that high, and I hope that we see that end up happening today. But man, these tech stocks are just looking like they're just coiling up for another big rip. AMD's been right around this resistance for a little while now. And, you know, going back and looking at the QQQ today, like I said, on the intraday chart, starting to pull back a little bit, but over the past few days, getting really extended, breaking out pretty far on the daily. I really like these types of moves. And, man, hopefully we see the overall market start to come back, or else it just might be a day of consolidation or just a nice flat day. But guys, like I said, let me know in the comments what kind of stocks you're watching. You know, there's been a lot of stuff going on with these Chinese stocks lately, and it's been a pretty crazy situation, I guess. You know, China's kind of trying to crack down on some of these stocks, and I saw that WeChat and a bunch of different app store services, like in China, for example, they took Didi off of their app stores and stuff over the past couple days, and man, Didi's just getting destroyed. Bob is getting destroyed. KWEB, which is an ETF that holds a few of them, they're kind of holding their ground today a little bit more than some of the other stocks are. But in the end, I mean, there's still not too much movement going on right now. So we'll just have to see what goes on with the China stocks. But I would predict maybe later on in the day, BABA might get a bounce back up. They bounce right off that 210 support, and they are catching some green now. So we might see a little bit of a move. We'll just have to see what happens. But you know, obviously nobody can predict the future, but I will say though, I like the move so far out of these Chinese stocks, and hopefully we can see a little bit of a bounce back to the upside. And why don't we check out AMC? You know, we haven't talked about AMC in a long time. Looking pretty good at open today, starting to fall off with a little bit of red. Mike says to go check out Peloton, and look at that run out of Peloton. That looks really nice, actually, up to 127.50. I actually have a position in this one, so give me 1 second, guys. I definitely have to check that out. But yeah, just give me 1 second. I got to check that out really quick. See what we're looking like today on those Peloton calls we were holding. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, yeah, looking pretty good today on the calls so far, and hopefully Peloton can get back up there on the 1 minute. Of course, it starts to sell off whenever I put it on the chart, but yeah, I actually really like the breakout today with it on the daily. It looks pretty decent. You know, it's getting right up towards that resistance around like 128 area. So definitely like the move that we're seeing so far out of that one. Thank you, Mike. That's an amazing breakout there. The SPY starting to break out as well, up above 434 today. This could be a pretty good scalp right now, possibly, if we can get in. You know, it's breaking out above 434. Is that the all-time high on the SPY? It looks like it is. We're getting really close to it. All-time highs at 434.17. We're at 434.09, 434.10 right now. Let's go back to Peloton really quick. That's actually looking pretty decent. Hopefully it can continue up, though. I really like the setup there with that one. It had a pretty decent extension out of that high, I should say, of yesterday, right around like 124, 125 area. But why don't we go ahead and check out that QQQ again? Still coming down. You know, the SPY is really ripping up while the QQQ is falling. We had the Dow actually outperforming today. The Dow is doing pretty well, moving to the upside, and you know, that's crazy. We see that the Dow and the QQQ are almost inverse lately. You know, it's been definitely a crazy like past couple of days and everything like that. And definitely just have your eyes out. You know, I think that whenever we're looking at like the Dow, the SPY, and all these stocks, it's hard to trade those. You know, they're indices and they're comprised of a ton of different stocks. I would try to stick to a certain sector, kind of like tech stocks, bank stocks, or something like that. And thinking of banks, let's see how they're doing. And oh man, in pre-market they sold off really bad, but looks like Bank of America is coming back up a little bit. JP Morgan trying to come back just ever so slightly. You know, so overall the market's not looking, like I said, not looking the best today, not looking the worst. We have tech coming down, so not a good sign with that. Apple was going up earlier. Let's see if it's trying to, yeah, it is trying to come right back up. It touched some of these SMAs down here and looks like it's just trying to come back up and retest these highs. But let me grab a drink really quick, guys. I'll be right back. Alrighty, I am back. Thank you, guys. I just had to go grab a water that was right across the room from me. But look at Apple. I actually really like this recovery play. Hopefully this can start to recover back and maybe get back up to this like 143.80, maybe hit 144 today. That would be a really nice move to see out of Apple. And man, some of those tech stocks this morning were just straight up ripping like early in pre-market, but they did pull back. So crazy thing to see out of that part of the market. Why don't we check out Enphase, see how ENPH is starting to look today? I really like that breakout, looking like at 192, looking like this stock is breaking out today. Also, good movement overall, you know, out of the market. It's looking pretty decent today. We have Hunter saying PLTR is tanking. Man, ever since they hit that resistance up there, they have just failed to break out. Not a good setup right now out of Palantir. They're actually right down to the 100 SMA right now, so hopefully they can hold that, but I have a bad feeling that they might continue down and just keep going. You know, that's definitely not looking good right now. Mike says, what's going on with PLTR? Getting destroyed. Yeah, definitely not looking good as of right now. Mike D'Antonio, actually, yeah, there's two different Mikes in here. Mike Chang said, what's going on with PLTR? Mike said NVDA slowing down too. So let's go check out NVDA. I know we've been talking about that, Mike, for the past few days, and we've just been kind of waiting for this to kind of pull back, and it looks like today might be the day. That's actually a pretty big candle. Thanks for the call out there, but yeah, it looks pretty solid actually. 88.25 seems like a pretty good support today. We're down right to that 1000 SMA on the 1 minute chart. We might hold here, we might fly through it, I don't know, but if we fly through it, I'll be a little bit worried in the short term for Nvidia. Like I said, we're seeing tech kind of come back today a little bit, so that might be a sign that Nvidia and some of these other stocks are due to come down. Good morning, Vicky. I hope you had a good night. Welcome to the stream. Amazon's looking pretty nice though this morning so far as well. They popped yesterday very significantly actually off of that Pentagon contract the Pentagon canceled a $10 billion contract and ended up doing a joint deal between like Amazon, Microsoft, and maybe a couple others, but at least those two now are on the new contract together, which really helped Amazon, which pretty much they lost out to Microsoft on the other contract. So Microsoft lost a $10 billion contract. So let's go see how they're doing today. Not the best, not the worst, but you can see yesterday intraday the little bit of volume that came in at like 11:30 in the morning. Whenever that news finally came out, that negative volume did go into Microsoft, and we saw it start to sell off. And guys, don't forget to hit that like button. I really appreciate it, and Mike will like it too. He's sitting there watching in the chat, so please hit that like button, guys. It'll really help us out. And we're almost to 1,000 subscribers now on the new channel. We're up to 947. If you guys are new here and you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. It definitely helps us out. We've been stuck around 800 and we're up to 947 now. We're just trying to get back above that 1,000 area. Definitely a little bit of a milestone for like a live stream. So looking at Microsoft though today, it did start to break out early this morning, but just came right back, just like we see with a ton of the other stocks in the market. I wonder how Tesla's doing. Yeah, Tesla's pulling back as well. Overall, not a good day for the market. We're seeing a lot of stocks go down. Peloton looking good though, coming right back to the upside. Hopefully this stock can start to come back up. It was in a pretty decent setup and it was looking pretty good intraday. I think that we might start to see another good move out of that one. Zoom was moving well early in the morning as well. They kind of pulled back. I know Enphase was popping up earlier, and there we go. Enphase with the breakout. That looks like a very good move actually out of Enphase. That's a good run actually. We were talking about it at 192.50 just a minute ago. Now we're at 194 or right at 195 actually. And now we're at 195.30. This stock's really running right now. I like the breakout of Enphase on the daily chart. Looks like a really solid setup today. Look at that on the 15-minute. Finally broke above that high of a few days ago, right at 193, up to 195.50 right now. I really like it. On the 1 minute, we're seeing some solid candles starting to go off with Enphase, and it looks pretty solid overall. And Corbin, PTON, was it a bull flag? Let me go check it out on the 1 year daily. Yeah, I mean, you could consider this a little bit of a bull flag. That's what I would kind of consider it as. I was just looking at it as like a little bit of consolidation or a little bit of pullback, kind of like we see in the past. And then we see a couple of green days right after that. So it pulled back, it hit off that 120 support, and then we saw a pretty decent, pop out of it today. I really like the movement out of it so far, and I hope that we can break that 127 level because like we have Enphase today, man, really starting to pick it up. So hopefully Peloton can start to get a pretty good boost up, kind of like Enphase has. But I really like the movement out of both stocks. Enphase started to break out on their daily chart, which looks great. Peloton is getting right to those upper levels, maybe going to break out soon. So hopefully we start to see a good move out of both of them. And I think Peloton just broke above 127, and there we go. It finally had that little move up through there. So hopefully we can break that high of day today. I think that'll be one of the bigger things to look for. And we have Jorge saying, RUN popping, Tom. So let's go check it out. RUN popping. Is it? Yeah, there we go. Sunrun moving up. Enphase moving up. I like to see that. I like these. I like the stocks in this type of sector. Definitely some of my more favorite stocks, in the market. BLNK is another one, and they're actually red today. But yeah, RUN looking pretty nice. Hunter says, Tenders of Thomas, variety check, AMC. It's getting spanked up and down the street. Yeah, AMC definitely not looking good. I checked it out early on the 1 minute candle, and man, it was starting to sell off pretty good. On the daily, AMC broke out of the wedge to the downside, guys. It broke out to the downside. Not a good sign to see. Whenever we breaks out of these triangles or these wedges and it moves one way or the other, you just have to kind of trust the market here. And man, definitely trusting it in the short term. I think it'll keep going down. Personally, I don't know if there's a chance for recovery, at least in the next month or two. I think it might take a little bit longer now to kind of get back into AMC. And I think that a lot of people are going to get pretty scared, especially if AMC goes below $40. Definitely not going to be looking good. I know Hunter's been warning people left and right about AMC, so hopefully you guys have been listening to him. It's not been looking good. But Sam says Square jumping today. Let's go check it out. SQ with the good move breaking up. Actually, I like that out of square. It looks very solid. Let's go check it out on the 1 minute though. Starting to pull back on the 1 minute very, very slightly, but I really like the movement overall. Hang on 1 second. I'm just updating a position really quickly. And I just exited Peloton. We had a pretty good move today out of it, broke the high of day, continued running up, and had a pretty good move out of that stock. Let's go check it out actually. Peloton on the 1 minute. Looks like we caught some red right now, but started to break out. I really like that move out of it. The options were priced very, very well compared to where we bought them yesterday. So overall, great moves today out of the market. I really like it. I feel like Peloton might continue up a little bit higher here. You know, with the breakout, it definitely has the potential to. We'll have to see how it ends up moving, but it is getting right into some of this solid resistance. And if we fail to break out above some of these key levels coming up, like 128, let me check it out on the 4-hour chart really quick. Yeah, like areas like right around like 130, 128. Those types of areas are pretty big at pretty high resistance levels for it. And if it fails to break out of that today, we might see more red, kind of like we're seeing in the short term. But I think it was just safer to take profits right there. Definitely a good spot to do that, and good trade for everybody who held that one. But SPY looks pretty solid today as well coming up. Like I said earlier, they're outperforming today. The QQQ, unfortunately, tech's starting to sell off. QQQ is actually pulling back pretty good actually today. The NASDAQ, I should say, hard to say 3 Qs in a row like that, but the NASDAQ's pulling back very, very good today, actually. If it breaks below 361, I think we might see a pretty solid move down to that 360 support down there, but hopefully it can start to pick back up because, man, I'd love to see all those stocks go up, especially like Tesla and some of the others, but Tesla's not looking good. I mean, man, it's selling off pretty hard today, actually. It had a pretty rough day yesterday, not looking good so far today, and let's go check it out on the daily. You know, it was up there consolidating at $700, and now it's just kind of sitting there. So definitely a crazy setup out of Tesla, guys. Let me know in the comments how you feel with Tesla. We're seeing some pretty big moves coming back to the downside. Michael Burry was short Tesla. I'm not sure if he exited those positions or not. Nobody will know for a couple of months until those reports come out, and they always come out a couple months after the fact, so keep that in mind. But whenever you're looking at Tesla, I mean, it just failed to break out above 700. The pullback right now is pretty steep, and I think that we might have a chance to keep going down here. You know, I hate to say that, but definitely not looking good for Tesla in the short term. And you know, we might come down and retest $600 or even lower. You know, we hit around 550 at the low, so definitely look out. I think that there's some movement to be had out of Tesla, possibly to the downside. And just looking at this intraday setup, it just does not look like the type of setup that would end up moving back to the upside. You know, we're seeing lots of red candles, lots of steep sell-offs, especially at open, which is generally not a good sign. And let's go see NIO. You know, NIO has been running kind of like Tesla the past few weeks, kind of popping back up. But yeah, they're catching some red today too, which is as expected. And guys, please let me know in the comments, you know, what you guys are watching, what you want to see. We have Jimmy saying NEGG now, Newegg. I know that they're a pretty solid company. Let's check it out on the chart. But yeah, definitely let me know what you're watching, what type of setups you want to see. And yeah, Newegg is up 37%. No, I'm upset, Jimmy. I actually really liked Newegg yesterday whenever I saw it. I thought it might have been getting a little bit overextended, but man, that move was awesome out of Newegg. I love that company, and I bought computer parts from them for years, Jimmy. And man, that's a great move. Wow, I can't believe that we saw that another 30% day. I think yesterday it was like 30% as well, and we even saw 30% a little bit last week. So wow, big moves out of that. That's a pretty crazy move out of NEGG. Wow, I can't believe it, actually. I love their website, guys. Go check it out if you like computer stuff. Newegg.com. It's pretty good, but I would have expected their stock, honestly, to have been a little bit higher than this to start with. So I'm glad that they're getting up there now, and I would expect them on the way down to maybe consolidate around 25 or something like that. I have Mike saying Apple's popping, AMZN to the moon. Is Apple coming back? I know that it was having a rough morning to start it off, and yeah, look at that big turnaround out of Apple, back up above 144, up to 144.44. Actually, that's a pretty crazy number right there. That's 4 4s, but awesome to see. Airlines and cruise lines, Hunter says. Let's see, AAL. Ooh, not looking good actually. I was expecting to see them up, Hunter. Not good to see. They are coming down pretty steeply now. Yeah, they've been going down a lot actually. On the daily chart, CCL has just been looking terrible. They've been selling off through support, selling off below SMAs. Definitely not looking good. You know, CCL was actually moving really good on the purple 100 SMA, bouncing perfectly off of it, and then actually bouncing perfectly below it. So definitely not a good sign to see in the short term. He says airlines, cruise lines, AAL coming down, UAL coming down, DAL, Delta Airlines, one of the best ones in my opinion, coming down again. So definitely not a good thing to see out of those stocks. Yeah, it's cruise lines for sure. Definitely not a good thing to see. Corbin says, I finally have a green day after a big losing streak, thanks to Apple. So wow, let's go check out Apple for Corbin. Yeah, I mean, pretty decent move. Like we said, you know, it definitely recovered back up today, bounced off that 100 SMA on the 1 minute chart, and I like to see this type of movement and setup out of Apple. Definitely looks really solid. And man, we're seeing some big moves out of a lot of stocks today. Actually, it seems like the market overall is turning around. I hope that QQQ is starting to get back up there. Unfortunately not, though. The indice is coming back down. We have Peloton continuing to go up. It broke that resistance and is at 129 right now. I think there's more resistance up here around 130 to 131. So be a little careful of that if you're still holding. But great movement so far out of that stock and just out of the overall market. You know, we're seeing some really good movement today. Microsoft definitely coming down a little bit though. Definitely underperforming, I'd say, compared to like Apple and some of the others. Definitely not the best setup there. Guys, still let me know what you're seeing. I wonder what we're seeing like with gold. Vicky says, check out TTD, the trade desk. Definitely looking solid today. Big moves in the morning. I like how it's starting to come back up as well. You know, we're seeing a lot of these tech stocks start to rise right now, and this might be where we see TTD start to go up. So definitely look for another rise, maybe up above 81, or maybe for it just to come up and retest. But definitely looks like a solid setup. Vicky almost reminds me of Peloton on the daily chart. Yeah, it reminds me just of Peloton. Peloton did start to break out though, looking really solid still. Let's see if it's holding up. Looks like it has some resistance up there around 129.25. So be a little careful of that. I exited around like 127.50. So be a little careful. We're about $1 above that right now. I wouldn't expect it to keep going forever. I have the fictitious fables of Europe saying DRV, Florida plus tightening credit spreads is more than enough to cause a cascade. It's already hard enough to leverage the wrong way. So let's go see DRV. I actually don't know what this is at all. Let's see, real ETF, MSCI. No idea what this one is. I'll definitely have to research this ETF. I've just never looked into this specific one. I don't know what they cover, but you said last time the daily spread we broke got a 70-cent move. So okay, gotcha. Definitely have to check this out though with the credit spreads and everything to see what exactly this is. So thank you, but definitely a weird looking ETF. You know, it is $5, has a lot of low volume to it. So for anyone trading this one, definitely let me know in the chat. Fictitious fables, like what does this follow exactly? Does it follow the tightening credit spreads, or does it follow like borrowing leverage or something like that? Or definitely let me know. You know, I'm definitely interested. But Jorge says CHPT breaking support of $30. Oh, that's not a good thing to hear. ChargePoint, this was one of my favorite stocks for the past few months, but definitely coming down hard now. Yeah, breaking right below 30. And yeah, we're seeing some stocks running up through resistance like Peloton, and then we're seeing some go down through support, kind of like CHPT. So definitely a mixed type of day. Kind of like I said, we have the SPY kind of sitting mixed. We have the DIA. It was up earlier in the day. The QQQ is kind of down a little bit also. So overall, just a mixed day. Like I said in the market, some stocks are up, some stocks are down, but overall, just a crazy day We have Bravo Mo saying, "Good morning, guys. What's going on with DAL, BA, NCLH selling even more?" So yeah, keep in mind, Bravo, Boeing has had a lot of issues lately. There's definitely a lot of negative stuff going on. CCL, AAL, all the airlines are going down also. Even though I thought I saw some good news today on CNBC with the airlines. Let me see if I can find that news again. Yeah, here, I'll actually throw the news up for you guys really quick. It says American Airlines says it flew 3 times as many passengers over July 4th weekend this year compared to in 2020. So I know that they might have been like half shut down in 2020 or something like that, but still a great thing to see that AAL was getting all these flights and stuff, but definitely not helping the stock today at all. Like I said, just look at the stock on the chart. Definitely coming down hard today, down 2.2%. If we look on the 5 minute, really breaking below those supports and everything like that. Not looking good in the short term, down to $20.52 right now. So definitely getting scary with the airlines. And, I don't really see a solid reason other than just transitioning right now, Bravo. We're seeing a lot of people transition out of these types of stocks that have been exploding. Like, look, since the low of COVID, these airlines have went from 825. They went up and down a little bit, but pretty much straight up to like $26 over the course of like a year or a year and a half. So definitely some good movement there. That's 300% actually, Bravo. So keep that in mind. That's a big move. If Apple would go up 300% in the course of a year, maybe they would pull back too. So just keep in mind, a lot of these airlines are moving below technicals right now as well. You can see this solid blue trend line. They fell below that. They fell below the SMAs. So definitely not looking good for the airlines. NCLH and Boeing, they have a lot of their own catalysts going on, but the cruise lines have not been moving good either. They're going to move almost like just in the same exact way the airlines will. They're not exactly correlated, but they definitely are in those types of sectors that move the same. Boeing is kind of in that same exact sector, kind of lumped in. Lockheed Martin is one that I would kind of look at to the upside if you wanted to get something kind of like Boeing. They make some cool military jets and stuff like that, and you can see that their earnings have never really went down. They still make a decent amount. They're still pretty profitable up there, whereas Boeing is actually negative in the EPS. They were negative 15, negative 1 whenever they were positive before COVID happened. So definitely look at like Lockheed Martin. I think that they're going to start to do a lot better in the shorter term. And they pulled right back to this support right around 370 to 375, somewhere right around there. There was a decent support, and we're just sitting right now around $80. So I like that one quite a bit. Jimmy says, Newegg, one of the leading tech-focused e-retailers in North of America, now offers professional PC assembly to customers who design their own computers on Newegg's PC Builder. And wow, Jimmy, that's actually a pretty big deal. I know I have a computer from Origin PC. I've bought a different one like whenever I was a lot younger from CyberPower PC. I've built my own with parts from Newegg.com. So that's definitely a cool thing to hear, Jimmy, that you can go on to Newegg and build your own computer and just have it assembled and shipped to you that way. I think that was really smart for them to kind of get into that game, and good for Newegg. I'm glad to see them doing that, and I think a lot more people will start to get more computers now. And I don't know how much they're upcharging for putting that stuff together, but man, with the price of these electronics right now, I'm sure an extra 50 or $100 seems like nothing to them. So definitely a good move by Newegg, and that's a great move today, up 43%. Definitely good for the company, it seems like. Vassam says, check out UPST, please. So let's check out UPST Upstart. Definitely not looking good in the short term to me. It could consolidate and end up popping off this support around 115, but I will say in the short term, I don't like this movement right now. Once we start to see more movement to the upside, I'll like it a little bit better. Right now, like I said, we're just approaching that support. We're kind of in the middle of the 115 and like the 130 range. So just be a little bit careful right now. I don't know which way it's gonna go. I'll just say I'm neutral on this one. Why don't we go check out UPS though? This kind of brought me onto UPS. I just I hadn't thought about this one in the past couple weeks, but looks like it's starting to come back up a little bit. I know that UPS was getting really overextended on the daily chart, but it looks like it's coming right back to the upside as these shippers continue to make a lot of money right now. And man, UPS is just moving very solidly on the day on the 15 minute, I should say, looking like it's breaking out above 212 right now, and we might start to see another good move out of UPST overall. Pretty solid moves today. And man, some of these stocks are just running up. Like UPST is in a great setup right now, starting to really get a good run. Peloton still running up from earlier up to 129.50 now. Consolidated a lot at like 129. I wonder how high it'll keep going. I wonder if 130 will be the top, maybe 131. Let me go back out to the daily chart really quickly. Let's go ahead and hover on this candle back on. Let's see, that was November 6th. Looks like the high of day was right around 133. So definitely look out for 133, possibly 130 before that. But looks like 133 might be the next resistance out of Peloton. Let's look at it on the 1 minute. Looks like it's having some consolidation now, but overall had a great day. I really like the pop that we're seeing out of that one. SPY looks really solid today too, holding this 433.50 support and holding the 100 SMA. I wonder if we'll start to see another move back up out of them. The banks were coming back up earlier. Let's see how they're doing now. Oh, it looks like they're selling off again. Not a good sign. Not a good sign for the banks at all. JP Morgan looks a lot better than Bank of America did. That's for sure. Bank of America was not looking good. Goldman's not looking good either. JP Morgan had a lot better of a move early in the morning, so that's good to see. Let's go see PTON again. Looks like PTON is starting to pull back pretty solidly. Guys who have been holding, I would definitely look at cutting somewhere around here. I think that we're getting really close to resistance now. I was seeing good resistance around 128 earlier, so I think we're definitely getting close to resistance at some point or the other soon. We're already up 4% on it, so definitely be careful if you guys are trying to hold this one throughout the day. I think it could continue up, but chances are I think that 130 might be a pretty good resistance up there for Peloton. But looking at like the 1 hour chart, we're starting to see a pretty big extension. So just keep in mind, we've seen it before. We might see it again, but definitely look for the consolidation there. Let's go check out MARA and Riot today. See how they're moving. I know Bitcoin has not been doing much, and neither is Mara or Riot, so that kind of makes sense. They're just kind of sitting still. Riot's up 2.7% with a little bit of a move, but Mara was definitely consolidating quite a bit there. Let's go check out. Let's see. Bravo says DAL. Did you look at that? I did. Bravo. DAL was looking pretty good there. We have Vossum saying Sophie, please. Let's go see it. SOFI. SoFi or Sophie, I should say. Looking pretty good, and pretty good, I'm going to say, to the downside I meant, but it's breaking that support very well at 1720. Looks like I said, we're seeing a decent move to the downside. I think that as long as we can start to really break down from here, we might see a pretty good move down. So if I was trading it, I'd look at it for puts more than anything, Vossum, but that's about it. Bravo says, I'm not interested in this market if airlines are selling, to be honest. I'm huge on reopening trade. I understand it's up significantly this year, but it's still compared to pre-COVID levels. Yeah, I'm with you, Bravo. I'm with you. I think that they should keep going up as well. They're even flying more people, making more money, but definitely crazy to see right now with it going down. I could possibly see AAL. There's a pretty good support here around $20. If we break that, I could see it heading down to like the $18 resistance, maybe something like that. I don't see it falling too much, so keep that in mind. I think that we'll see, some good consolidation there. But Bravo says, I called the VIX yesterday and it was really a nice trade. Not sure about today. Got you there. Spacely says, at Bravo. Gotcha. Corbin says, how about AMD? So let's check out AMD. Looking, really consolidating actually at that $95 area. I was going to say that, they were breaking out early this morning. They just failed to pass above that 95.50, 95.70 level of yesterday. And man, starting to sell off, like I said, not looking the best in the short term on the 5-minute chart. Like I said, not looking good. Not looking good to the downside though either. I mean, there's definitely a lot of support here to be held, like around $94. I see a good level there, and then going down even further, I see a solid level down here around 92. I think that looks like a pretty good area also. So I really like AMD for the longer run, but in the short term, it definitely could consolidate on this type of like level that we're seeing up here. I would hope it could eventually break out and move to the upside, but who knows? Let's check out the QQQ. Looks like it's coming down even more today. Definitely not looking good in the shorter term out of the QQQ. So don't know what to think about this. Tech was rising up a ton. Now it's just flying right back down. So definitely keep your eye out for that. SPY also pulling back. The Dow Jones pulling back as well. Let's check out some of these like manufacturing stocks like Caterpillar. Yeah, they're just kind of flat to down today. I know they've been having a rough past couple of weeks as well. I would look at Caterpillar puts, to be honest, guys. I mean, that looks like a pretty good play to me. It's still up a ton over the past couple of years. Let's check out that max daily out of Caterpillar. Yeah, I mean, I could possibly see Cat coming down to like the 175 support. That honestly looks like a really good level, and I would think that we hit off that sometime or the other. And a lot of people they look at stocks and they think that they can never come down, but stocks, they when they get into those downward trends, they definitely start to come down pretty significantly. So be a little careful. Everyone's favorite stock will eventually come down, like Nvidia. Like Nvidia will definitely start to come down eventually. Whether it comes down off of this solid technical right now, or if it comes down after the split, or who knows, it'll eventually have a decent pullback though. And that's like whenever people really start to, buy up a lot of shares, and it creates a lot of good opportunities whenever those stocks start to come down. Let's check out Palantir again. I know this one was having a terrible day earlier on and still selling off. Hunter, look at this. Look at Palantir coming down. Definitely not looking good. Selling off all the way down to 23.20. And guys, I hope you listened to me about Peloton. If you guys were holding those calls still, definitely started to pull back a lot intraday now. I saw some red going on in the market and figured I would hope to save some people some profits up there at the top, but definitely pulling back a lot now, down towards like the 127.30 area, maybe 127 even. So definitely watch out for Peloton. Starting to pull back pretty good. It doesn't mean it can't keep going up later in the day or anything like that, but in the shorter term for the next few minutes, definitely watch out for that. Let's see Apple one more time, starting to pull back again. So the market's starting to turn around today, not looking good. Yeah, stuff is definitely starting to crash down. We have Keisha saying, asking, is it time to pull the plug on Baba? So Keisha, I don't know what you mean. Do you mean is it time to finally grab some shares, or is it time to finally start shorting it? Because it's definitely not looking good in the short term. Hopefully it can start to bounce. I think that these Chinese stocks might start to see a turnaround over the next few weeks, but we'll have to see what's going on. Bravo, just the overall market's pulling back. Definitely not like crashing, but starting to pull back pretty good. We're seeing the QQQ coming down. Let's see the VIX. In the short term, the VIX is starting to pop up a little bit today, intraday, up just a little bit, like up 1%. Yesterday, it was up like 17% midday, I believe. VXX is moving pretty well today as well. So we're seeing the market, like I said, flat to down, and the VXX is starting to pick up some momentum. So I wonder if we will see a little bit like of a pullback, or not a crash, but just a pullback or something with the market. I definitely think we could see that. And I'm not sure like what's going on, but I know that China news, anytime bad Chinese relations between the US and China, or anytime there's like tensions or anything like that, definitely causes the market to have some problems. And China's going after Bitcoin right now too. So, keep in mind there's a lot of weird stuff going on in the market. There's the Fed still pumping bonds and everything like that too. So we're going to have to see like if the FOMC changes their tune at the next meeting and everything. So definitely keep your eyes open for like some economic data to come out and stuff like that. But yeah, the SPY not looking good today on the 1 minute chart. starting to pull back a little bit right now, but man, like I said, all morning just flat to down. Seeing the sell-off continue definitely sucks to see. Not a good sign. Corbin says, spoke too soon on my green day. Dang it, Corbin. I'm just joking, but not, yeah, definitely. Uh, yeah, I guess you did. You spoke too soon there on it, but sometimes you just have to quit while you're ahead. Don't overtrade. But yeah, you gave it back, but you could always make it up. You could make it up later in the day or something like that. End phase was looking pretty good earlier. Maybe they can turn it around and start to come back up. They're down to that 190 support, so they might be able to hit here and come back. Peloton was up a lot earlier, starting to pull back a little bit now too. Maybe they'll start to recover back up or something. But overall, good moves out of the market. Good moves out of Peloton and Enphase, I meant to say. But let's check out GLD. They've been kind of moving strangely the past few days as well. And GLD moved a lot overnight and then ended up coming down a little bit at open. Kind of like yesterday. We saw a huge move overnight and because of that 3-day weekend. And then we saw, just a sell off at open, kind of like what we're seeing today. So overall, GLD is not popping up or anything like that. I was hoping maybe they'd be popping up. QQQ starting to come back a little bit. Why don't we check out crude oil? People haven't been talking too much about crude oil lately, but that OPEC deal kind of got canceled the other day and nothing got completed at the deal, and it's actually sending oil to the downside. And initially this news was making oil go up, but it's good to see oil coming down. It'll definitely lower the gas prices if we start to see that happen. And man, I'm just honestly really ecstatic to see the way oil's looking today. Definitely not looking the best, but that's good for gas prices. It's not good for Exxon and Mobil, not good for CVX, but definitely good for our pockets. So I'll definitely take that. I think inflation's been going up a little bit, especially like with commodities like crude oil, steel, lumber, stuff like that. Seems like it's getting pretty high. I'm glad to see the oil coming down. I think if we start to see crude pop down, there's a huge support level around $66, $67, somewhere right around there. So if we start to see it pull back, definitely look for a pop off of those levels. I think that'll be a good area to watch for. And why don't we go check out DRIP, which this stock should start to go up as crude oil falls. And yeah, it drips up 4.8% today. So if we start to see crude oil dip down, DRIP could start to really move up. And, GUSH or GUSH has been moving up a ton with oil going up. So it's good to see that DRIP starting to move back up and GUSH is starting to go down as that happens. Obviously, these are inverse ETFs. They're inverse of each other, so they move the exact opposite, and they're 2x leverage. So GUSH goes up, or goes down, I should say, whenever oil goes down, and then DRIP goes up whenever oil goes down. So there's definitely, it's definitely a little crazy. I'll explain it again. GUSH goes down whenever oil goes down. DRIP goes up whenever oil goes down. So GUSH is almost like, keep in mind that they even named them to kind of hint what they do. So GUSH is whenever oil is gushing, and lots of oil is coming out. Whenever oil's dripping, only a little bit of oil is coming out. So that's why drip's going up, is because crude oil itself is going down. I'm sorry if that confused anybody, but definitely let me know if you have any questions about that. But Sam says Newegg stopped on the uptrend. Yeah, I'm not surprised to see it. We're seeing some big moves out of the overall market. We're seeing the overall market go down. Newegg's really starting to rocket up there. I like that move. Guys, Newegg is a great website. I'm glad to see it having this type of move. I did not expect to see something like this going on, but definitely crazy. Corbin says the Fed minutes come out today, so that'll definitely be an interesting read a little bit later on. Yeah, so Newegg is apparently halted up here, they said. So yeah, look at that. It is halted up here at 46.21, and looks like, I guess, it hit that circuit breaker up around 70%. Definitely a lot of volume and stuff heading into this one today. On the 1 minute candle, we saw 517,000 volume on that final minute before it closed. So lots of stuff going on today with that stock for sure. Definitely a lot more volume than yesterday. Why don't we go check that out? on the daily, and just I'll give you a good comparison really quick. Today so far, we've seen 21 million volume, and yesterday we only saw 20 million volume for the whole day. So definitely, or actually that's for the week. Hang on, let me go to the daily. Messed it up. So today we see 12 million volume so far, and yesterday we only saw 8 million. So that makes it look even better for today. You know, even more volume coming into Newegg, more upwards momentum, and that news today was really good. Bravo says, I feel the whole market is dependent on the 10-year treasury yields, so not good. Yeah, let's go check out /ZN. Yeah, definitely just, I will say just slow and steady, just kind of stair stepping here on /ZN. TLT starting to come back up as well. So yeah, I mean, I could see that. Bravo definitely following along there. And, the Fed's been kind of pumping a little bit lately too. So maybe that's why we're seeing the overall market moving so well. But hopefully this intraday pullback doesn't keep continuing. The SPY is starting to get back up there, which is good to see. Let's see how Peloton is doing. Again, I know that they were pulling back a little bit. Maybe they're starting to come back up, and it looks like they're coming up a little bit more now again. So hopefully they can continue their upwards momentum. But man, they definitely had a great day today so far. Their daily chart looks so good yesterday. Definitely a solid setup there. /CL still coming down, hitting like around their low of day actually right now. So looking pretty crazy on that. The SPY still coming up again. QQQ pulling up as well. We have Apple. Apple might break its high of day right now, actually. 144.44. Let's go see if that's the all-time high on Apple. I know we're getting close. Yeah, that all-time high is around 145. Let's see on the 1-hour chart what it actually was. 145.09. So yeah, it looks like 145.09 is the high on Apple. Looks like we might go up and retest that today. Apple really looks strong right now. Microsoft looks strong, even though they had that Pentagon cancellation yesterday. They're still breaking out, actually. I think Microsoft is at all-time highs again. Yeah, look at that. Microsoft back up to all-time highs, breaking out above 208 today, or 280, I mean. But that's a solid move out of Microsoft. No wonder the QQQ is starting to come back. We're starting to see some of these tech stocks come right back up. Tesla, unfortunately, not looking good. Still down out of them. NIO, also still down, so not good there either. Going back to the questions, we have Bravo Mo saying, can you look at TNX? They follow the yield. So let's check out TNX, the 10-year Treasury Index. There we go. So the 10-year Treasury Index falling down a little bit. Yeah, definitely on the daily, starting to pull back a little bit. So looking a little scary there, but here you go, Bravo. Here's the chart. Here's the daily on it. Definitely falling off in the short term, the 5-day, 15-minute. Yeah, starting to fall off a little bit, just out of TNX though. But man, yeah, not looking good for TNX anyways in the short term. Hopefully it can hold $13. Obviously the yields are what's going to move that one though. So don't really look at supports too big on that. But yeah, the SPY trying to come back up. We got Vicky saying Treasury ones are coming down due to the transitory inflation. So yeah, I could see that, Vicky. Obviously, I'm pretty big on that inflation, and I feel like that inflation is going to be around a little longer than people are expecting it to be. They keep in mind that we still have to see the transition kind of making the inflation go down. So we'll have to see how it ends up looking as the numbers come out over the next few months. But I'm with you. Hopefully it starts hopefully it is just transitory and it starts to come back down a little bit. I think that'll help the market start to go up again. But in the short term, I think that the inflation going up might be a little bit of a help. It's helping a lot of these companies continue to make profits and stuff like that. I know it was definitely helping Home Depot whenever those lumber prices were inflating, because Home Depot was pretty much following lumber's chart. You can see how much overextended Home Depot started to get. And we can go look at /LBS, which is lumber futures, and how they started extending up at the same exact time as Home Depot. So definitely, I think that those ones were definitely correlated with each other. X, which is U.S. Steel, they were going up a lot because the price of steel was going up. Unfortunately, I see X going down now. It broke this solid trend line that we had on the chart for the past year or so, and it started to finally break off below that. So I'm definitely going to be bearish on X in the short term. I'm also going to be bearish on Cat in the short term. I think they can go down a little bit. I think Triple M might start to come down as well. I'm not as bearish on them though, but I'm pretty bearish on Caterpillar. You know, that stock really looks like it could start to come down to me. I think Home Depot could start to come down as well, but like I said, Caterpillar is the main one I'm bearish on. I think that they could really start to see a pullback. The SPY looks like it's coming down as well. And guys, I apologize. I just left the chart on SPY. I have a few monitors here, and I was actually changing the chart on a different monitor. So my bad on that one. But here's the CAT daily chart, just so everybody can see it. Definitely not looking good in the short term. I think that we're starting to see it look pretty bearish, like it might start to sell off pretty good here in the shorter term. Vicky says to check out SAM, please. So let's go ahead and check it out. And guys, let me know any stocks you want me to cover before we go ahead and end the live stream. We will go ahead and end in about 10 minutes. So if you guys have any extra stocks you want me to cover, definitely let me know in the comments. And guys, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. We're almost up to 1,000 subscribers. We're at 947 right now. It'll be a big help if everybody that watches subscribes and likes the video. It'll really help us out. We have SAM. Vicky says to check out SAM, and you know, I haven't really looked at this one in a few years actually, but Samuel Adams beer is starting to come down a lot actually in the short term for some reason. I don't know what the reasoning is here. Maybe the high prices, like the inflation going up or something, is hurting them, but I would think that as a company, they would be good for the longer run. Their earnings are really good. Their EPS was looking solid. They had a 5.26 last time, right around those all-time highs. And yeah, I don't know what the catalyst is here, making them go down. And I will say, Vicky, definitely let me know what the catalyst is in the comments, because there was a huge voluminous day on May 27th where they ended up tanking off pretty hard. So definitely let me know, because it looks like they had a pretty rough day right then, and I'm not sure if that's why they've been going down, but I will say it looks good off support. If you like it for the long run, I think it's a good time to maybe sell some puts or to get some leaps, but that's the only way I would go about trading Samuel Adams right now. I don't think I'd be too bullish on it in the short term. The setup doesn't look terrible, but you know, it's such a high price and everything like that. It'll be a little hard to trade. We have Corbin saying, if you want to, please look at Shop. So Shopify, yeah, good call, Corbin. They were actually running a lot early on today, starting to sell off a little bit now. Not looking too good actually intraday. There is that good support though, right around $1,530 on Shopify. I like it off of that. It looks like it could have an intraday bounce and maybe start to go back up. Personally, I would be more neutral on this one though, and possibly skip this. You know, I think that there's a lot of better opportunities out there in the market, especially right now. So just looking at Shopify, it's not my favorite, but I will say I do like it, especially on like the daily level. I like it, not as much in the shorter term. You know, I think it's starting to get a little overextended. If we start to see a solid breakout tomorrow, then I think it could still go up. But like I said, I think it's getting a little bit overextended, just into those areas that might just be a little bit too high. Going back though to the questions, we have Augusta saying, my biggest holding CPSH is getting absolutely wrecked. So let's check it out. CPSH getting wrecked. Yeah, definitely not looking good. And Vicky says SAM or Samuel Adams was upgraded today to 1,225. Yeah, I don't know who made the upgrade on that, Vicky. Let me check it out really quick just so I can check it out. Credit Suisse looks like they did it. So that's a pretty good one, I think. I don't know if they're the ones who did it. Yeah, it was Credit Suisse. Credit Suisse says they actually upgraded them with up to a target, Vicky, of 1,490. So what let's see, Vicky said 1,225. Yeah, I don't know, they're targeting 1,400 at Credit Suisse. So definitely a or Credit Suisse or Credit Suisse, definitely let me know what it is. I don't know how to say that. I've heard of them though a lot. You know, they're a big company for upgrades and downgrades. So I could definitely see Samuel Adams moving well off of that news, Vicky. Good call there, and maybe we will start to see a turnaround then off of that support. I think that might be a good thing to see, but you know, it could always break that and keep going down. Just because they upgraded it doesn't mean to jump in, but I think that it could definitely bring some buyers into the stock. But going back to Augusta's, he says CPSH. Let's go back and check that one out really quick. Yeah, CPSH definitely getting hurt. And you said this is your biggest holding, Augusta. Let's check it out on the Max Daily. Wow, yeah, definitely be careful holding stocks like this one. I'm not saying it's going to be bad or anything like that. Definitely had some good movement in the past, but really risky type of stock. Augusta, definitely be careful having your biggest stock in your portfolio being something like this. I would prefer having something like, you know, like Apple or like Neo or Tesla or Disney or, you know, Triple M even, or Zoom, or you know, DraftKings, or something safer. You know, I think just having that stock specifically is a huge hold, I think isn't the smartest thing. But seeing CPSH getting wrecked for you, definitely not good in the short term. I really hope that turns around for you, but looks like it definitely broke some of those supports around, like, I will say there was a huge one right around 785, broke right below that. Definitely not good. Vicky saw the Morgan Stanley upgrade, so awesome, Vicky. Yeah, Morgan Stanley looks like they have it upgraded to 1225. Like I said, Credit Suisse has it at 1400. I don't know what the deal is there. And keep in mind, I just looked through the quick. I just really quickly scanned through TD's news, Vicky. I'm sure that I'll see. I'm sure I could go find the news on Goldman too, but on Morgan Stanley. But definitely a good thing for Samuel Adams. But Sam says Newegg stopped again on the uptrend at $53. Let's see it. NEGG looks like they have been halted once again. So definitely crazy moves there. Up 96%, up almost 100%. Man, you know, I love this company so much. I wanted to grab some yesterday, but I really knew it was going to be a big gamble, and I did not think that they'd be hitting 100% today at all. Definitely a crazy stock, crazy move, and man, I love Newegg. Let's go check that out really quick. Let's see how they're looking here. Newegg.com. Yeah, let's see what they got going on here with this PC part builder thing. Let's see, PC builder. So let's go ahead and build one, guys. Let's build our own. Let's see. We have the enthusiast. Yeah, we're going for the enthusiast level. We don't mess around here at Stocked Up. We're gonna build it with what should I build it with? Intel, or I guess we'll go with AMD because everyone likes them a little. I like Intel, but everyone likes AMD a little bit better. Let's see what we got going here. Newegg. So let's see, $424 on the processor, $469 on the. What's this? Two processors? I'm so confused. We got two processors on here apparently. What is this? Oh no, I get to pick it. I see. Okay, so we'll pick the most expensive one. Oh, it's out of stock. So we'll just pick this one for $460. We will. Let's see. How do I do this actually? This is confusing. Short Newegg. It's not working. No, I'm joking. Let's see. Let's customize it. Yeah, will it work? Okay. All right, so let's save to my list and edit. Okay, so that's what I have to do. Okay. So save to my list and edit. Oh, it wants me to sign in though. Dang it, I don't want to sign in. All right, they're making it difficult on us to build this, but this is how you get there. You know, you can go to newegg.com. Looks pretty cool though. You know, I will say I like the way they have it all set up, and they show you what everything looks like, and you know, everything like that. It gives you the price, and newegg.com's always been a pretty good website. I'll say I like a lot of their stuff. Let's see. Let's go back to the stock though. See if it unhalted. It unhalted and ran up to 58. Did it run back up again? Hunter says make a Build-A-Bear next. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I wish it was a little easier. You know, I will say that builder was a little hard to use. You know, I will say like I use a lot of those things. I use PC Part Picker and all that stuff like that, and definitely crazy here. I'm trying to just build it myself. I just want to build it on my own here. Like I want to. This is a public parts list. Please sign in. Here, I'll sign in. I'll do it really quick. Let's see if this unhalts, and let's see if we get a good move. I want to see this on the halt and see if we can see a pretty good move here. But let me log in on the other screen and we'll kind of see what we have going on here. Let's see. Are we ever going to unhalt with Newegg? I'd like to see a bigger move. 114%. That's actually insane to see. That's a huge move. So definitely crazy and really really nuts with Newegg, I'll say. Actually, that's a big thing that they did today with upgrading what they did and everything like that. So definitely nuts. And here we go. I actually got it. I logged in, so now we're able to select our own parts here. Let's get these parts out of here. Let's go get the good stuff. You know, let's put in the good stuff here. So I'll build it. I'll build it just like I have my computer. Actually, why don't we do that? I'll build my computer on here and we'll see what it ends up looking like. Let's see here. Save to my list and edit. Okay. Let's trash that thing. Let's trash this. Did we ever unhalt on this? I'll bring up both screens at once here. We'll build it and we'll see if it unhalts. So let's see. We have the AS Rock 6700 XT. Get that out of there. Okay. All good now. We can build it from scratch. Let's see how these processors are looking. We have the Intel. What am I using? I'm using the 10940X. Where's the 10940X? Where it looks like mine's not even on here. So let's see. Yeah, mine's like not even offered on here. Let's see if I can search within here. 10940X. Yep, I can't even get that on here. So I guess it's too good. But let's just go back and choose the we'll choose the 1187K or whatever that is. Let's select the video card. Come on, are you ever going to unhalt for us? I want to see the big move up above 114%, guys. I'm just waiting for the big move here up above out of this. Giovanni says mRNA dipping. Sam says it dipped to 50, went back up, halted at 58, big swing, so be careful. Yeah, definitely be careful. Whenever these halts happen, sometimes it makes the stock fall, so just be very careful in the short term. Let's go ahead and add on this $1,100 graphics card, I guess. Is there no bet? I figured that there'd be, some better ones, and let's see. I guess they're all... Oh, here's some better ones. Here's the 6900 XT, $2,200. Let's see if mine's on here. We have the 3080. Let's see what we're looking at as far as those go. We have the 3080 Ti. We have the RX 3080. Here we go. The Zotac, the EVGA. Let's just add the Zotac on because it's in stock. Okay, we'll add the memory. We need 64 gigs of RAM. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, this is pretty easy, I'd say. I like it. I'd say I like this, the way they have this going on Newegg. So overall, pretty easy to use, I'll say. Let's add on the 64 gigs of RAM. So yeah, if you want to make a good computer, copy these specs and it'll cost you $3,600. But hey, it looks pretty cool. Looks like a pretty pretty good computer. But yeah, it looks pretty decent. We should see that thing unhalt pretty soon, I would say. We should unhalt in the next couple minutes. Corbin says you're having too much fun, Mike. Yeah, I am. I'm actually Tom, Corbin. I'm Tom, but yeah, thank you. Mike is not here today. He's I'm sure he's watching though. So, but let's see. Newegg. I just want to see it unhalt right before we end the stream. We will be cutting out as soon as we see this thing kind of unhalt here. But let's check out Peloton one last time, guys. Peloton pulled all the way back. Crazy move out of that stock, man. Crazy move out of Peloton, but. Wow, yeah, I wish I would have took profits around 128. I took them more around like 127.57. Wish I would have waited a little bit, maybe towards 129, but man, let's go check out NEGG once again. If I miss the unhalting, I'm going to be a little sad this time. So let's, when was that last candle? Let's see, 9:29. Should be unhalted really soon. I thought the halts were 5 minutes, and yeah, there we go. Big unhalt right now out of Newegg. Let's see this thing run, guys. We're seeing it run right now. Ran up from 60 up to 62.90, back down to 59, up to 63, all the way to $64 right now. Big moves out of this stock. Hopefully it can keep going. Come on, Newegg. Let's go. Let's see if we can hit $100. You know what? I don't know what the short float is on Newegg, guys, but Wow, I don't know if this thing's short squeezing or if it's just running from momentum or what's going on. Let me actually check out the short interest with Newegg really quick. This is actually a pretty crazy thing to see. Yeah, there is no short interest, no short float available on the stock bot anyways, but look at this. This is insane, up to $69 already today. Looks like 70's posing as a very quick resistance, but I bet we're going to break right through that. Let's see if we can hit $75. Come on, Newegg. Get up there, break $75 or break $70 and see a big run. Hopefully we can see it. I think we might have just re-halted again. Was this another volume halt? No, I don't think so. I think we're still going. Yeah, we are still trading right now. Is it halted again? Guys, let me know in the chat if we're halted again. I think that we're halted. Up 155%. The bid in the ask. Yeah, we are halted. Look at that. Halted at 69.55, I think. Wow. Crazy to see again out of Newegg. Let's see if we are halted in the chat. Oh, my bad. Oh, I feel bad. Sorry. Quite a fun stream today. Thank you. Yeah, Mike says definitely watching. Haha. So, yeah, definitely funny stuff with Mike. Look at that. Up to 69.37. Guys, I'm just going to go ahead and cut it out here while we see Newegg on the halt. Pretty crazy moves. Definitely watching Newegg, watching Peloton still for today, watching Apple. Apple was having a good move. Microsoft was breaking highs earlier as well. I appreciate everybody watching the stream today. Thanks for joining in, Corbin. Thanks for everybody who's been asking questions. Sam confirmed we are halted. Yeah, we did end up halting. Pretty crazy moves. Definitely watch Newegg for today. Pretty good stuff. If you guys are new here, please like the stream. Don't forget to subscribe. You know, we're at 947. We're trying to get that to that 1,000 mark. So if you guys learned anything, if you liked anything you saw, please hit that subscribe button. Really helps us out. Don't forget to check out our YouTube video that drops every single night. Will come out around 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So definitely keep your eyes out for that on the Stocked Up YouTube channel. Thank you guys for joining and have a great rest of your day.